today we're checking out some true animated stories of people with special powers.
My name is Ward.
Hi, Ward.
I'm 17.
Hello.
Do you like participating in various sorts of challenges?
Man, I love
it seems
challenges.
like a harmless hobby.
All right.
But it often leads to the terrible consequences.
Oh, well, he just froze.
I'm not
no.
very popular.
Okay.
I almost don't have any friends. And good-looking
That
girls
sucks.
don't have crushes on me.
Yeah, it happens.
In addition,
yeah.
my mom and dad are teachers at my school.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, my parents are everywhere and keep total control.
Oh, they're very strict.
My life is not at all fun.
Yeah, that sucks, Ward.
Mom is super proper in everything and a real fanatic for healthy eating.
Mm-hmm.
From morning to evening, I chew on broccoli and despise my life.
No,
Sugar
thank
and
you.
Coca-Cola are
No,
under a
thank you.
special ban.
Oh, wait, really?
But recently, I got a chance to stand out. The coolest guy at school, Glee, organized a challenge after school for high school students.
Okay.
Who can drink the most Coca-Cola?
Oh, no.
It was for his blog,
Oh,
which was
no.
quite popular. I was invited so they could laugh at me, as I'm always proper and never
This
drank
is
Coca-Cola.
bad.
But I agreed to participate. We got together near the school. 7 guys would take part, while everyone else would watch. I wanted to finally show what the quiet Ward is capable of.
No.
Glee turned on the camera and started the countdown
3,
until the
2,
start.
1, go.
I attacked the Coca-Cola.
All right.
Drinking one bottle after the other. For 5 minutes, I didn't stop drinking Coke.
What?
And I won, having drank 5 liters.
No way.
One
How's that
more
even
than the second
possible?
place competitor. I rejoiced, then understood I was losing consciousness.
Oh, of course.
Falling, I felt my
This
head
is
hit
dangerous.
the concrete ground.
Oh, no.
I regained consciousness in the hospital with an IV drip attached and with bandages around my head. The doctor said my sugar levels skyrocketed. They hardly cleaned me out. I had a craniocerebral injury from the fall and having hit my head. Mom and Dad were really worried, but
Man,
at the
this
same
is
time,
crazy.
were upset with me.
Shouldn't
they
be
made my
upset.
diet even stricter and prohibited me from drinking Coca-Cola for the rest of my life.
Oh, boy.
Honestly, at that point, I didn't really want to. But then, strange things started happening with me.
His
I didn't want
superpowers.
Coca-Cola, but I did want water.
Oh,
I was constantly drinking and couldn't stop.
really?
The thirst
What?
was unbearable. At first, Mom was happy for such a good habit, but then began panicking.
What?
My desire for water became uncontrollable. I couldn't spend 5 minutes without water. I felt like if I stopped drinking water, I wouldn't remain alive.
This is crazy.
And all after this damn situation with the Coca-Cola. It got to the point that I kept the fact I was drinking 20 liters per day secret from her.
Wait, what?
Felt like a bubble that was
There's
just about
no
to
way
pop.
that's healthy.
Water gurgled in my stomach nonstop. I also constantly went to the washroom.
Of
My
course,
desire
non-stop
to drink
peeing.
didn't go away. My mouth was like the Sahara Desert, and I drank and drank, and importantly, almost didn't eat.
Wow.
Finally, my mom suspected something was wrong and took me to the hospital, so I got checked out.
Yeah, you should have done that right
There was
away.
a huge cooler with water out in the hall, and I poured many cups of water into myself.
This
You
is
probably
crazy.
think I should have been enlarged from drinking 20 liters per day. In actuality, I felt completely okay, just that the thirst had become an obsession. The first day at the hospital, I had a dream, as though I was really young and drinking Coca-Cola nonstop, and also that I was yelling and calling for my mom.
I want my
It was all
Coca-Cola.
very strange and blurry, but from that day on, nightmares began following me.
Oh, no.
And while the doctors tried finding the cause for my dependence on water, I suffered from the same exact horrid dream over and over. On the 4th day, I couldn't stand it and complained to my parents that I have nightmares in the hospital and I want to go home. But instead of pity, they took me to the local psychologist. There, I found out who I actually was.
Who are you?
I told her about the Coca-Cola, the water, the nightmares. I just couldn't stop. That's just how much of it was kept boiling inside. But when she began asking questions, it ended up that I couldn't recall anything before the age of 5.
Wow.
I tried, but my head hurt. I really wanted to drink. I went to the cooler in her office and drank cup after cup. I drank approximately 4 liters of water. The psychologist was shocked. She left to talk to my parents in the hallway while I continued drinking due to
Wait,
the
don't
stress.
leave this guy alone with
Another
water.
liter. And another. Then she came in with my mom and dad. She explained that all my dreams are memories of my early childhood and that it was time for my parents to tell the truth.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, my nervous state would not go away. The truth? I choked on the water. What truth? This is how I found out that I'm not Ward, but Rob.
Wait.
I was adopted.
What?
Did you ever think you could be adopted? I didn't. And of course, I was put in a state of shock. But if being honest, this wasn't the scariest detail of this whole story. I found out I didn't end up being adopted for nothing. When I was 3 and a half, My parents were deprived of their parental rights. And the whole reason for it was Coca-Cola. When my adoptive parents first saw me, I almost didn't speak and was scared of people. I was a little wild because of my mother's distinct departure. With my father, they spent all their money on alcohol so that I didn't cry and ask for food. She constantly gave me sweet Coke.
No.
One day, she gave me so much I ended up in intensive care. I was intoxicated. Like this time, they pumped it out and deprived my parents of their rights. Then I drank water like a crazy person. As before, that Coca-Cola had replaced water for me. This is why my adoptive mother was so attentive to my diet.
No!
Maybe this is the reason for my rabid thirst
They
now.
were good parents after all.
I spent another day in the hospital before receiving the analysis, but they showed something completely unexpected. My dependence on water was not a psychological trauma. In reality, the production of the hormone vasopressin was disrupted, which regulates the level of fluid in the body. It caused diabetes insipidus, which means I would have to undergo lengthy treatment.
No.
Do you think that it was all because of Coke? No. Just that, because of Glebe's stupid challenge, I fell and got a craniocerebral injury. Because of the strong hit, the production of hormone was disrupted, as it is produced by the pituitary gland in the brain. Jesus, it'd have been better if I never took part in this stupid challenge. Who knew that this small decision would completely change my whole life?
That was such a crazy story, but here is an even crazier one.
I'm Anita.
Hi, Anita.
I'm 15, and I have a disease called CIP.
You know what that
stands
is?
For congenital insensitivity
This
to
is
pain.
crazy.
This means that I don't feel pain like you do.
What?
In fact, I've never been in pain, and I have no idea what it feels like.
That's
This is an
insane.
extremely rare hereditary disease. My great-grandpa had it, and it skipped a few generations before it was passed down to me. Feeling no pain sounds great,
Right?
but I can assure you that it isn't as good as it sounds. We are meant to feel pain for a reason. It's there to warn us when something is wrong, whether it be a toothache, a fever, or when a substance is too hot. I've never been able to run a bath by myself. My mom has to run it for me and check the temperature.
That's crazy.
It also means that when I'm in the bath, I can't refill it with hot water in case I burn myself.
What?
I can feel hot and cold, but I have no idea what a burn feels like, or what being so cold your toes hurt feels like. I also have to cut up my food and let it cool down for 5 minutes before I eat it, so I don't burn my mouth.
Oh,
I don't
no.
even bother with hot drinks. I just stick to drinking juice.
I thought she had a
watch my friends
superpower.
with curiosity when they accidentally hurt themselves. I just find their in-pain expressions so odd. My mom shut her finger in the trunk of the car and screamed before she walked off, shaking her hand for at least 10 minutes. If I shut my finger in the trunk, I wouldn't even flinch, which is bad
Wow.
because it means I could cause myself more of an injury. My great-grandpa, the one who also had CIP, died at the age of 40 from heart disease. He didn't have any symptoms because of his CIP.
That's
So he had no
crazy.
warning signs that he was seriously ill. My parents are terrified that I will end up ill too and not realize it. They make me go to the doctors for a monthly checkup.
I mean,
there is
good.
no definite cure for CIP, although there are some experimental treatments out there. My parents have refused these, as they don't want me to end up feeling like a lab rat. They say it's up to me to decide if I want to try any when I reach 18. I have scars on my arm from when I was in a restaurant and spilt a boiling mug of tea on it, but because I didn't feel pain, I didn't flinch or put it under cold water. I once fell off a climbing frame and twisted my ankle, but continued to walk on it for the rest of the day.
No.
That evening, my mom saw my ankle was swollen and took me to the hospital. Turns out I'd badly sprained it and caused myself more injury by walking around on it all day. I was on crutches for weeks. I'm not allowed to take part in any sports
of
for fear of
course.
hurting myself, and I don't use the cooker or the kettle.
Please don't
My
cook.
mom has to tell me if I need to put sun lotion on or to wear a jacket. If it's really sunny, my mom doesn't let me go out at midday, as she's worried I'll end up badly sunburned. Even though I wasn't meant to play sports, once at lunchtime, I joined in with my friends and played basketball. A boy tried to take the ball off me, and I was shoved hard onto the ground. He was staring at me, open-mouthed, and some of the other kids were gasping at me. I looked down at my arm. It had popped out of its socket and was hanging there
And she
limp.
didn't even notice.
I hadn't even realized.
What?
The boy walked with me to the nurse's room, and I sat down on the metal frame bed, all smiles. At least, that was until my body went into meltdown and I fainted.
Oh, no.
I woke up 3 hours later in hospital with my arm in a bandage. Needless to say, my parents were furious with me. When I was younger, some kids used to poke and hit me to see if I would flinch. I used to be covered in marks and bruises, and my parents were horrified. They complained to my teacher, who gave the entire school a lecture about the dangers of my condition and how their actions could have put me in hospital. Now that I'm older, I find that most kids try and steer well away from me in fear of accidentally harming me. Especially since the arm popping incident. It makes me feel sad, but there's nothing I can do about it. My friend Kayla says I'm like a real-life superhero.
She is.
I don't think I have a very
But
good
then,
power at all.
not really.
I'd much rather be able to have super speed or turn invisible. I do worry about my future. I hope I don't end up ill and not realize it like my great-grandpa. My condition makes my life difficult at times, but I'm not going to let it get in my way. I may not be a superhero, but I am me, and I will try my best to protect myself from injuries and have a normal life. Thanks for listening to my story.
Those were some crazy stories. If you want to check out some really crazy stories, then click right over here. This one is insane. And if you want to check out some other really cool videos, click right over here. Go and click it, and I'll see you over there.